problem is
I
that.
Understand that. So you was with the Black Panther?
Good.
Oh yeah.
Well, how old are you? Let's see, that was about your age. We got Panthers who were 15 years old when we started. Bobby Hutton, very first Panther, he was 15 years old. He was your age.
Wow.
Yeah. And you had the first group of Panthers, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old.
That's deep.
The oldest Panther during that time was on the young side, about 24 years old.
So he's the Black Panther.
You were the old man of the Panthers, you had to be 30 years old. That was Elvis Stevens, Bobby Seals, and another guy named Big Man Elvis, Big Man Howard.
Hope you hear these
They were
things.
considered to be the old guys in the Panthers during that time, because they were in the late 20s and early 30s.
Wow.
So if you was a young Black Panther, you still have the same rights as being the older one? Like,
Oh yeah, but you know, you had Huey and Bobby who were 22, 23 years old who started it with little Bobby Hutton. They mentored him because they used to work in the law office and they knew the law very well because they worked as a lawyer, and they studied real hard and they decided that this is something that they wanted to do because of police brutality that went on in the community. And also wanted to serve the community the other way. You know, like free breakfast program in the morning. You know, we had free food in the morning. Had an ambulance service, health clinics, all those things. Not just we had here in Hunters Point, we have them all in Oakland, had them all in Sacramento, LA. You know, we have them all over the country where there was ever Black Panther Party. New York, Chicago, Philadelphia. So there was an organization that was all over America at that United States during that time. And they had support that was in Africa, Asia, Latin America, all those other parts of the world. We had representatives who supported the party during that time. We used to travel all over the world particularly during that time, because just like now, we have the war in Iraq, we had the war in Vietnam. So we were opposed to the war, and we should speak out against the war. But there were a lot of people who refused to go to the war, who left the country. They went to Canada, they went to Europe, they went to all other parts of Africa and different places, simply because they weren't going to fight against in a war against people who were people of color. But people of color who had never called them nigger, people of color who never shot them and brutalized them. So the real fight was not against them, that you had GIs getting to understand, but the real fight here in the community, correcting and all those things that were incorrect.
I have a question for you, sir. Now, I guess I have a unique perspective because most of my family, most of them were Panthers. But I was just wondering if you could share a little bit about what it is, the nitty-gritty that the Panthers were about. Because I think some of us have seen maybe a movie, some of us have heard some little stuff, but I think there's maybe a void in terms of what the Panthers really meant.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't bring a book. I have a book to show about photographs of different we were about, but we were about serving the community. We were about being in solidarity with people in the community, working together to build the community on the foundation of things that were needed in the community, and particularly like health clinics. We had a free health clinic. We did, and we had people come in. We had doctors who came in and volunteered to help.
And this is mainly put together by the young people in the community.
Yes.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, all over the country you had a lot of young people who were inspired about age 18, 17, 18, 19, who came into Black Panther.
Wow.
Then you had a lot of students who came into Black Panther from San Francisco State. That's when they had the San Francisco State strike, and they had all the protests going on during that time on the college campuses. So you had a whole lot of students from college students who came into the Black Panther Party during that period also.
Clinics and
we had
breakfast programs.
Yeah, we had a busing prison program where we used to take the loved ones to visit those who were incarcerated. Every weekend, all over the country, we used to have buses loads of folks, and we take to the different prisons to see their loved ones who were locked up, so there could be that connection there. We also had a program where we used to send commissary into those who were locked up. You know, next time I come, I'll just bring that book and you can sell it. Where it shows tables and tables of stuff that was donated to us by the community. and stores in the community to give that we can send back into those brothers and sisters who were locked up, you know, and okay. And so we had mobile vans in some places. We had big mobile vans, almost as long as this wall, that wall. We traveled out to the community in New York and Boston doing outreach, and we talked about sickle cell anemia, which is that disease that predominantly impacted black folks in this country.
Yes, sir.
And so we used to go around, and we the one brought that to people's attention. Black folks weren't really aware of that on the level that it should have been. You know, and what the government wasn't doing about it to try to find a cure for it, which there still is no cure for it. Yes, young lady?
So, is the Panthers still allowed, and where are they at?
Yeah, they definitely play all over the countries. They're still alive. Some are dead, and but they're still alive. Some are congressmen and senators. Some are lawyers and doctors.
And
Others a lot of them are still working in the community today.
And do you know the state that, like, where there's the most slavery, where the most slavery is, the state?
Where there's most slavery is?
In California, in the United States, is there?
Well, it was slavery all over the South, and there was also slavery also in the North.
I'm saying now.
Now? Well, inside the prisons.
Yes, sir.
Inside the prisons. The prisons is it's like that's the prison industrial complex. They specifically call it, it's about making money. When they talk about privatizing prisons, they mean people who got private ownership. That means that when you have, say for example, if you're selling juice, if you don't have enough juice to sell and you run out, then you don't make no money. So if you got prisoners in prison and you don't have enough